Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Jyeshtha is the nakshatra of the king of the gods, Indra. Make a note of this. King of the gods, king of the devas, not the leader of the devas. The leader of the devas is Agni, which comes from the word Agni, means who is at the forefront, the leader who leads. Indra is a title. And so this being Indra's nakshatra encapsulates within it a lot of the energies of politics, power, being clever, taking a lot of discreet and hidden actions, a lot of clandestine affairs. Jyeshtha is a very intellectual energy because it's ruled by Mercury after all, this nakshatra. But along with it, there is a lot of the energy of the deity Indra, which is an energy essentially of always trying to calculate in which way you can have the upper hand. Now, here's the thing. If you are not already like this, if you're not already a clever person, a calculative person, a person who cares about power, or in fact even lust for power, this nakshatra, if it is your moon's nakshatra, or if you have a lot of planetary placements in this nakshatra, or if this is your rising nakshatra, as in the nakshatra of your ascendant, then your life will demand that you become a person like this. Your life will demand that you learn politics, that you learn how to calculate situations, circumstances, people's reactions, people's behaviors, who will support you, who will not support you. Jyeshtha people are great with subjects like political science, history, great with subjects that have anything to do with commerce, business, even though they may not necessarily be great with numbers. But Jyeshtha people are great when it comes to studying, reading and understanding situations. I mean, you can even be a life coach with this placement. You can be a great psychologist with this placement. You can be a great lawyer with this placement. But somehow, this nakshatra in some way gives an aspiration for power. It can be power at a very basic level, such as, being the president of your RWA, which is Residents Welfare Association, your building, your society. Or it could be something grand, such as wanting to be in politics, wanting to be in parliament or be in the Senate, something of that sort. Why? Because at a lower vibration, Jyeshtha is driven by the energy of fear. So Indra, I say this because Indra, we think, is a person, but Indra is actually a title, okay? Indra is whoever is the king of the devas. That's who Indra is, okay? So Indra was given a curse that with all of the power that he gets, he's always going to be insecure about his throne. And so if you read the scriptures, if you read all of the stories that are mentioned, in our scriptures, in the Srimad Bhagavatam and, all of the places, you will find that for some reason or another, Indra's throne, Indra's reign is always in peril. He always has to, go to Vishnu. He always has to go to Brahma. He always has to go to Shiva. He always has to go to Shakti that please, please, please save us. My situation is bad. Why? Because it's just a curse. Now that is symbolic. Why? Because whoever is a leader, that person leads by example. That person exercises soft power. That person exercises influence. A leader is somebody who people look up to. But a king is somebody whose sole purpose is to maintain calm, maintain peace in the realm. The job of the king is to protect and sometimes to do the difficult things, to have to do the dirty work, to keep the peace. And so therefore, Jyeshtha carries within it a lot of the energy at a lower vibration of this nakshatra, of striking before you can be struck, of taking preventive action, of maintaining power over the people who are not even necessarily your enemies yet. This can make a person quite insecure, quite paranoid sometimes. This can make a person, who can spy on people even who are closest to them quite a bit. Why? Because there is a lot of insecurity about losing the things that you value, losing the people that you value, losing the relationships that you value, losing the status that you value. But at a higher vibration, Jyeshtha represents the energy of intellect. It represents the energy of ambition. It represents the energy of wanting to take charge, wanting to be seen. These people can quite often be great politicians. Now, obviously, you have to understand with Jyeshtha, if you are naive in the beginning, circumstances will force you to become a shrewd, become a clever person. You can often see these individuals in show business, in events, management. You know, you can see these people in intelligence, in wiretapping, working with cameras, working with hidden cameras and things like that. You know, could even be great videographers. But there is always this element of wanting to be 2 steps ahead of the competition. If you are not like this, then this nakshatra is probably giving you difficulties. So therefore, to align yourself with the higher energies of this nakshatra, the sattvic aspirations, become a person who is proactive, become a person who is 2 steps ahead of the competition, 2 steps ahead of whatever you think could be a threat. And this doesn't necessarily have to be people. It could be circumstances, it could be situations. Jyeshtha people learn in life how to keep security hidden somewhere. That could be, in the form of some hidden funds, hidden properties. Jyeshtha people can in fact quite often keep things hidden from their spouses. I mean, if you have Venus in Jyeshtha, it is quite likely that you are a very how do I exactly put it? You are a very possessive individual in love. You're very possessive with respect to the people you love, just paranoid that I might lose them. It's something, at a lower vibration, but there is always that tendency if you have Venus in Jyeshtha. But Venus in Jyeshtha, the higher vibration is, being ambitious in love, wanting to build something great together, wanting to build something together. Another association that you will see with this nakshatra is the association of this nakshatra with goddess Alakshmi. Alakshmi means not Lakshmi. Alakshmi is considered the elder sister of Lakshmi. While Lakshmi stands for everything that is positive, auspicious and abundant and prosperous, Alakshmi stands for everything that is the opposite of that. Lack, okay, difficulties, problems, unfortunate events. Now, it was part of the culture in India quite a while back, to worship Alakshmi. And housewives would often worship Alakshmi so that she spares her house from harm, so that she spares their houses, of making them a widow or having to live like a widow or having to live in unfortunate circumstances. If you research it online, you're going to probably read that this is something as a result of superstition. Like, why would you worship something or someone or some deity who stands for everything that's inauspicious? Well, within that is the power of Jyeshtha. It's the energy here. You have to also keep the people, the entities, the things, the situations happy, which can harm you. That's what politics is. So housewives would often, there was a special day dedicated to Lakshmi Pujan. I don't quite remember. If any of you guys know about this, please comment here in the comment section below so that you can enlighten all of us. But there was a special day which was kept for Lakshmi Pujan, in which housewives used to worship Lakshmi to ask for her forgiveness for anything wrong that they've done and to spare their house from any sort of difficulties and unfortunate events. Okay. So, Jyeshtha can also be a very diplomatic nakshatra. Once again, it can be quite lying and deceitful as well. And lying and deceitful not as a way of, as a result of habit, but in trying to protect yourself. Now, if you have Saturn in Jyeshtha can actually show difficulties that you might have had, or that, it's just karma for you to have and face. through people who are Jeshtha-like, through people in authority, through people who are conniving, through people who are, clever, shrewd, calculative. Circumstances will make you a person where you will have to take on these traits, where you will have to stay 2 steps ahead of everybody else, where you will probably learn that, man, I need to keep tabs on everybody close to me. You will probably become a person like that. Why? Because Saturn teaches by, making you go through hardships. So he will teach you who to become by first bringing you across all of the circumstances, which is going to show to you that, look, these are the kind of people out there who can harm you if you're not as good enough as them, if you're not as smart as them, if you're not 2 steps ahead of them. If you have Jupiter in Jeshtha, well, Jupiter in Jeshtha can actually bless you with a lot of knowledge that has to do with warfare, occult, espionage, political science, politics. Even it's quite possible that Jupiter in Jeshtha can give you knowledge with respect to things like hacking. Okay? Mars in Jeshtha can also align your mind quite a bit towards this. Mercury in Jeshtha can also align your intellect quite a bit towards this. Why? Because Mars is a very action-oriented planet. Mars will take on the flavor of whichever nakshatra that he is placed in to give you those abilities in order to be able to use them to attack. Okay? And not necessarily attack in a bad way, but in order to also be able to defend yourself. Mars is attack, defense, both things, right? So this is how you understand the energy of the nakshatra of Jeshtha. A lot of people here ask me, why don't you talk about all of the planets that are placed here? Well, because I'm going to do a separate series on them. The point of this initial series of this nakshatras and talking a bit about planets is to give you an idea of how to study these energies, how to apply your mind to be able to interpret these placements. Okay, so this was my brief analysis of Jeshtha Nakshatra. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post here, and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. If you want a personal session with me, you can do so by checking out the link given here in the description box. Thank you so much. Take care. Hari Om.